in the past. It all comes to an end, and can't wait to have the people come here and literally stand before us and answer for the craziness they've been doing. Representative Baird is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, and thank the witnesses for being here. And Dr. Yoho, it's always a good just when I can see you. But I want to express that the American people really deserve not to have their tax dollars spent on the programs that Chairman Mast mentioned earlier in his opening statement. And I really appreciated Emeritus McCall reminding us about how the USAID came about. And it was really initially created, as was said, to combat the Soviet Union and their efforts to spread communism around the world. So it's disappointing to hear about the billions of dollars being distributed to foreign countries, and some of those are our adversaries, that without really accomplishing our mission. So we have people here at home that are really struggling. For example, those that are still sleeping in tents after some of the hurricanes, and it's cold winter time. And so I think you can recognize, and I'm sure you recognize, the importance of taking care of our own people. But anyway, Dr. Yoho, thank you for your service in the 113th Congress. And I'm interested in agriculture just as I know you are. So I would really be interested to hear your perspective as a veterinarian on the impact of early detection of zoonotic diseases and the development of early detection and vaccines for controlling some of these diseases. And
sure. Thanks for that question, because it's very important. There's so many things that are going around. The things that affect people in pandemics and epidemics and things like that originate in the animal world, the zoonotics. There's 27 viral families that come through, and we saw the effect of COVID. I mean, COVID is in the animal world. It's in the human world. The thing we're looking at now is H5N1, the highly pathogenic avian influenza. We're seeing it mutate and get into the mammals, from the birds to the dairy cattle to the feline population, into the porcine population, and into the human population. This is a very dangerous virus if it gains a hold in the human population and can get to the point of transmission the way influenza viruses did. COVID, as bad as it was, had about a 97% recovery rate. You get one of these bad strains of influenza or the Marburg virus that's showing up, or a new strain of Ebola, they have a 40 to 50% death rate. Those things, what we went through with COVID was bad enough, but it's nothing like what we're going to see. And the research that we do through organizations like our land-grant universities, those are the ones that are on the cutting edge of this. But then you have multi-funded donor international organizations like CEPI, the Coalition Epidemic Preparedness Innovators. They are doing research on the emerging viruses so that we can have the platform for the vaccines to be developed ahead of time. And this is that platform. The United States provides about 5% of their funding, roughly $170 million over the last 5 years, out of a budget that they have of about a little over $4 billion. The amazing thing is we've received about $1.25 billion back here in the United States of America that go into our research universities, our biotech parks, to do this advanced research, and that leads to global health and national health, and you can't have national security if you don't have health security.
So are you supportive of the idea that having people in some of these foreign countries allows us to have early detection?
It really does. And I think, as Administrator Nacio brought up, if we have missions in these, we can monitor the spread of that. And they're the first ones, if they're trained in the medical field and they can follow these things, we can see where it's breaking out. We can do the mitigation of quarantining that area before it gets to a pandemic. And again, this is national security. We don't want to cloud the good that they do with some of these programs that we heard that were abused that should never have happened, because that ruins the whole credibility of us. It ruins the credibility of the aid arm of the United States of America, and that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Do either one of the other witnesses have a comment? We got about 28 seconds left.
I agree with every single word of what Dr. Yoho just said.
Thank you.
He's absolutely correct.
That's
and
good.
I didn't think of adding in the zoonotic the animal diseases just from a veterinary point of view in terms of monitoring. That's a very good idea.
Stick around, we'll help.
I would just add that these are important ideas, but we also have to strengthen the capability of other countries to be able to do it on their own. Countries in Africa and Latin America, it's like year after year we're spending a ton of money and we're not getting ownership from these countries. And that, to me, is a better, more mature relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. And my time's up, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.